Cheers, guys. Welcome back to another video. In this video, I'm going to share with you, if you've been watching the channel lately, you've heard about me talk about this before, but this is the single best manifestation practice ever in existence. It's a bold claim to make, but I genuinely believe that out of everything, and in my book that just came out, you can download it in the link below, out of every technique that I have in that book, I mean, all of them can be used even in the mirror because they're affirmation techniques. They're techniques to gain control of your self-talk, over the internal narrative, over the 4D, so that you can therefore gain control over the 4D, over the 3D. Out of everything, this is the big daddy of all manifesting technique. It's the biggest one. It's the best one. And if I instantly tomorrow woke up and was only able to use one technique, it would be this technique. Other people have been calling this mirror work. I call it the mirror technique. But essentially, it's getting into the mirror, looking at yourself in your own eyes, and telling yourself, affirming to yourself, declaring to yourself what it is that you are becoming, who it is that you are becoming, and the version of yourself that you are stepping into alignment with. It's going to get you to quantum shift into this different version of yourself. Because reality, when you think about reality itself, and again, I go into this in detail in my book, but reality is the all, as spoken about in the Kabbalion, the source energy, the field, the energy that makes up everything is mental. And what you believe to be true tends to be true. There are, of course, universal laws, the law of gravity, certain laws that, the laws in physics, laws of nature that are unavoidable. The sun is going to come up in the morning and it's going to go down in the evening. Aside from the universal laws that govern our reality, what we believe to be true tends to be true. So if I wake up in the morning and I go out and I decide that, let's say I go to school, right? Let's just use the school example. School is a good one because when you're in school, we go through a lot of identity crises, I suppose, or a lot of people have all these different, everyone's very concerned about what other people think of them. So let's say that you wake up and you have all these concerns, right? Think about if you're in high school, go back to that point in time when you were in high school, and you go and you were constantly just worried about what people are thinking about you, the way that you're dressed, the way that you are speaking. You're not confident in yourself. You think that you have this self-image, this self-concept of yourself being a loser, being somebody who is not liked, somebody who is the shy kid, somebody who's the kid that sits on the bench, right? Well, that's going to continue to perpetuate. The moment that you begin to think, the moment that you wake up, and the moment that you actually begin to start showing up as a version of yourself that is confident in yourself, and that shows up in your manner, in the way that you carry yourself, it's not just the language, it's everything. It's your energy. But it's the thoughts and emotions, and they're a feedback loop. Thoughts lead into your feelings, which lead into your thoughts. So when you go to school and you observe the kid that's dapping everybody up in the hallway, he's just got a pep in his step, he's got that enthusiasm, what's up, what up, how was the party last night, all this stuff, right? When you're in high school, you're like, wow, why is it that he or she is so popular, so well liked, but me, I'm just, what's the difference? The difference is the interpretation and also the the energy. But the quickest way to shift your state, the quickest way to shift your energy is to get into the mirror and tell yourself that you are now confident. Tell yourself that you are now smooth, that you are now calm, that you are now relaxed, that you are now powerful, that you are not a victim. The more and more that you allow your reality to bat you around, to tell you that, to convince you that you are somehow less than others, or that somehow other people have certain chances that you don't, or somehow, this person had this going for them, or she's prettier than you, or he's taller than you, or any of these things. It doesn't matter if there's even a kernel of truth in them. They're going to shape your reality. You see guys all the time, the guys that are short, that are well liked and popular. You see girls all the time, the girls that are maybe not traditionally as attractive, or maybe they're not, they don't have the classical type of bone structure or whatever you might have, but all the guys want that girl, right? Or all the girls, she's the most popular girl, right? It's because of the decisions that they make on a moment-to-moment basis about themselves. Yes, certain things are outside of our control, but what behooves us as people that are on this path towards self-development, toward becoming the best version that we can be, is to focus on what is in our control. We are, certain things were decided. We didn't get to decide our parents. We didn't get to decide where we're born. But after these kinds of preliminary years, after those certain things, we get to decide. We get to decide what these things mean. We get to decide on a moment-to-moment basis the way that we interpret events. And if something is happening in your reality that is not in alignment with the interpretation that you want to have, you allow it to fuel you. Some people practice revision. I'm more so the type of person that takes it and does a reframe. So I reframe these ideas into, how is this serving me? How is this a good thing? What could be good about this thing? So if I'm getting rejection, and the best thing that taught me this was doing sales, the process of sales. If I'm getting rejected on the doors and nobody's buying my goods, every single door, I'm just one door closer to my success. Every single thing that happens, now I get to go back with my mentor, my sales team, and practice so that I can handle the objections tomorrow, so that I'm actually a better, more skillful salesman tomorrow, so that I know how to handle certain things, so that I know how to address certain issues or certain questions that a prospect might have. So the more that you're able to shift this, and the way that I did this when I was on my sales journey was doing this mirror technique, this mirror work. So every single morning, I would get in the mirror and I would tell myself how I'm a phenomenal salesman, how I'm the best salesman around. I'm getting more sales than any of the other rookies on my team. All right, that was my niece. She just came in, so I had to reconvene over here. But as I was saying, when I was going on this journey of learning sales, of getting better at sales, by doing this work in the mirror to myself every single morning and every single evening, like clockwork, I didn't miss a day. I never missed a day with this. I became the number one rookie in my region. And there were days where I would make over $1,000 a day in the sales process. And the regional manager wanted me to also start selling like internet and other things, because I was the best performing rookie, and they saw like a lot of potential in me. But the point of me expressing this to you is it was in conjunction. So it was this mirror work, the mirror technique. The thing that's good about it is, for a lot of us, especially now in this post-COVID era, it's become normalized to kind of just sit at home and not really be doing that much. And people are socially isolated, and you don't move around as much, and there's not as much life and movement as it's just become normal. So watching this channel, I'm all about action. If you compare me, I'm not a law of assumption coach. I'm not a die-hard Neville in the Neville forums echo chamber type of person. I honestly disagree with a lot of that stuff. I think a lot of us today, and I think that we need to address the problems of the day, right? There may be a time and place for, if somebody's just grinding and just working, nose to the grindstone, and they're never getting any rest, then you might want to dial back the action. It's true. There's the hustle culture and stuff that can also be unhealthy. But as we know, when we study reality, and I always use this visual model, there's these two extremes. You could think of it as, one side is this hustle culture narrative. The other side is, I'm just gonna sit on the couch and feel the feelings, and I'm just going to, imagine it real, and then I'm not gonna do anything, I'm not gonna take any action, I'm not gonna actually be that version of myself that shows up in reality as that person that can sustain this result. I'm just gonna think about it and wish about it. So you can see that in the middle, there is the person that does the mental work, which is what we talk about a lot on this channel, and then they also show up and do the action. And I want to start bringing more of that to the channel. Many people that I know, especially in the manifestation space itself, the best performing people, the people that are my favorites, to be honest with you, Life by Lucy, Dylan James, Danny the Alchemist, she used to be called Fly Girls Manifested, but all of these people actually talk about action, and they actually talk about taking action. And if you guys are going to, sign up for anybody's course, I would highly encourage you to sign up for one of their courses, or somebody that acknowledges the role of action. Any of these people that is saying never take any action, yet they are here day in, day out on YouTube taking lots of action, right? So it's like, watch what they do, not what they say, because the same people that are telling you take no action are the same people that are showing up day after day, putting in consistent action, posting these YouTube videos, right? Because they want your attention. They want to be able to sell their products and services to you, but at the same time, they want to just tell you what you want to hear, right? There's this saying, and I mentioned this in a recent video called, it's by this person named Blair Warren, but it says, people will do anything for those who encourage their dreams, justify their failures, allay their fears, confirm their suspicions, and help them throw rocks at their enemies. And you can see that this happens in these very dogmatic circles of manifesting where people, are very gung-ho about the whole no action, or, very, very strict with their what they say and what they teach and what they're kind of regurgitating. Ideas that they've, in my opinion, misunderstood from some of these teachers. But that's another point for another time. What I'm going to tell you right now is if you're one of those people that doesn't ever want to take any action, then you're on the wrong channel. Because I'm not going to tell you what you want to hear, I'm going to tell you what you need to hear. And every once in a while, myself included, sometimes we just need a kick up the pants, to be honest. We need that somebody to just be like, hey, wake up. It's, life is continuing on. And if you are just staying in this hopeful state without actually embodying that thing, you're missing out. You are missing out on life. So the reason I'm going into this tangent right here is because the reason that mirror work is so powerful, especially for those of us that tend to lean into this kind of more yin type energy, is it creates movement. Motion creates emotion. This is something that we know. And energy, when energy begins to flow, that's when energy begins to move. And again, at the heart of all of this is energy. And there's so much science to back up. I just posted that video about science. Body language. The body is the subconscious mind. That's why it's so important to hit the gym. It's so important to get physical movement. It's so important to actually stand up straight with your shoulders back, as cliche as it might sound, to carry yourself with like somebody who feels deserving, who feels worthy, who feels like they are competent, capable of being that person, of getting that thing, of having that goal, of having those desires that you're looking to manifest. So the reason that mirror work is so powerful is you actually begin to move. It's about movement. And what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to pay attention to people that you like, people that you think are charismatic, people that have the things in their lives that you want to have. Pay attention to how they carry themselves, how they speak, how, their body language, the type of facial expressions. And you're going to want to steal like an artist, to be honest. You're going to want to begin to model this behavior. And you can do this in the mirror. That's what's so great about it, is that you can physicalize this version of yourself. Whatever you've decided to be, you decide in your mind's eye. It's like you're carving this sculpture. You're whittling out these imperfections in your personality. That might be the neediness. It might be the fidgetiness. It might be any of these things. And that's okay if you have them. But realize that that type of needy energy that's hooked in with other people's energy, that's what's getting in the way of you maybe getting your SP. That's maybe what's getting in the way of you getting that new career position. We've talked many times on this channel about how communication is at the foundation of manifesting, because anything that you want to manifest, most things, almost everything is contingent, whether it's money, career, health, wealth, on relationships, on being able to share your ideas, being able to, and that's why communication and understanding psychology is also so powerful. And again, that's why this channel here is holistic. I'm not going to just be putting everything into a box that's just this. It's a conglomeration. When you look at success, success leaves clues, and people that are successful, they're able to, like I said, communicate in an effective manner. It's a very rare person. Maybe there's somebody that's good at coding or programming, but the thing is, they're not wealthy in other aspects of their life. They probably don't have that great a relationship with their kids, maybe not with their family members, maybe not with their spouse. They may not even have a good relationship with a significant other, because communication is so vitally important. Now, when you begin to do this mirror work, you're going to go off of your main goal. It could be 1 to 3 goals that you have, and you're really just going to inform who it is that you're becoming. Again, I've talked in many videos about how when you do this, when you look into your eyes, that you're instructing the way that this 3D version of yourself, this 3D avatar, you can think about it like your video game character, is now showing up. It's like you're upgrading your stats and you're telling yourself, I'm charismatic. I've got what it takes. I know I can do this. And when you look into your eyes and tell yourself this, it's powerful, because it's like your higher self, your 4D self, imprinting this onto your 3D self. And though, past a certain point, you really just have to do this and experiment and try it on yourself. Just watching these videos is one thing, but actually going and doing this technique in the mirror is going to be crucial for this. You just have to do it. There's no getting around that fact. And again, that's taking action, right? And you're going to need to do this in a disciplined manner as well. Doing this once or twice isn't going to move the needle that much. You might feel invigorated and inspired after you do it, but it's the same thing like going to the gym. If you go to the gym once or twice, yeah, you might get that pump or that high after you're done with the gym, but it's not going to make any real noticeable difference in your life. This is much like that, and that's why I preach the discipline. You are disciplining yourself. You are making a commitment to do these techniques so that you can then reap the rewards. Whether you are engaged in, and I have so many techniques in this book, and that's the beauty of this book, is that you can go and pick which techniques you want to use. Whether you engage in mind power, which is essentially, it's reflecting on these core ideas of laws of the mind, including that, your thoughts are real forces, your mind is a sending and receiving station of thought. Thoughts that are emotionalized become magnetized and attract other like thoughts. You can I have the power to insert any thought into my mind. I have the power to dismiss any thoughts or entertain them. My inner and outer worlds are connected, right? These are all things that you will learn about in my book, but you have the power. Again, that's just one technique. There's a million different techniques in this book. And so when you start to do and apply these techniques in the mirror, you're going to really feel some energetic shifts. You're going to really start to feel your energy change. And again, there's really not that much more I could do other than giving you guys, like doing a rampage here so that you guys can see an example of this. But I have other videos, maybe I'll link one right here, of me doing that. For the purpose of this video, this is the technique. And if you want more information on it, obviously the book is available in the description for you to download. But if there was one, again, coming back to the beginning of this video, if there was one technique that I could say that was going to move the needle for you this year, it is this technique. Now, again, you're going to want to craft your vision. You're going to want to discuss or understand and clarify exactly what these major goals are, whether it's 1, 2, or 3 goals, or the certain areas of your life, the core areas, relationships, financial, career goals, health, fitness, what have you. And then you're going to want to essentially rampage, essentially instruct that this is happening. And you can come up with affirmations. There's a lot of affirmations in the book that you can use. They're extremely effective. I go in depth with how you can use language and use hypnotic phrases and use process-oriented affirmations so that they seep into the subconscious more easily. But doing it in the mirror and combining any of the techniques that you want to use, whether any of the ones that I mentioned or anything else from the book or anything else that you have in the mirror, is going to be that much more powerful. It's going to really shift your state. And anybody that's done this, anybody that's in the field of, Claude Bristol talks about this in his book, The Magic of Believing. But I had a mentor show me this even before I did the sales thing. And from the very beginning, this was one of the most effective things at changing my state, changing my self-talk, and throughout the day. And it's when you do it in the morning, because the mind is the most receptive to these hypnotic phrases, to these suggestions, to these commands of the subconscious mind, to these declarations. and in the evening as well. But the morning is a must. So anyways, guys, this is it. This is the technique. If you have more questions about it, again, you can check out The Magic of Believing by Claude Bristol or download my book below. With that being said, much love as always. Let me know if you guys have had success using this. Let me know your experience. I would be curious to see who else agrees with me, or if you guys want to debate me in the comments, you guys think that there's a different technique that gets that #1 spot, let me know down below, and I will see you guys in the next video.